The Duchess of Cambridge's parents, Carole and Michael Middleton, have recently made headlines for an unexpected move that has left the royal family reeling. Carole Middleton, known for her usually polite and reserved nature, has stunned everyone with a fiery stance against Queen Camilla, a move that no one saw coming. Once content to remain in the background, Carole Middleton is now stepping into the spotlight, exposing secrets, and creating a stir among royal watchers. As the drama unfolds, one thing is certain, this story is far from over. When Catherine, Princess of Wales, first became involved with Prince William, Carole Middleton worked tirelessly to integrate her family into the royal fold. She played her cards carefully, always polite, always presentable, and always supportive. However, behind the polished smiles and public appearances, things weren't as smooth as they appeared. Despite her best efforts, Carole found herself navigating a world where her family's lack of aristocratic heritage became a subtle point of contention. Queen Camilla, as the consort of the monarch, was expected to embody centuries of royal tradition and propriety. And while her outward demeanor was gracious, sources claim that there were private concerns about the Middletons' social standing. Coming from new money, rather than a traditional aristocratic lineage, Carole's family didn't quite fit the mold that the Queen Consort had come to expect. These feelings of discomfort gradually manifested in passive-aggressive comments and subtle jabs, with Camilla reportedly making remarks about how things were done in the old days, implying that Carole's family was an outsider. Carole, ever the dignified mother, chose not to react publicly to these comments. However, it became increasingly clear that there was simmering resentment under the surface. Over the years, the tension between the Queen Consort and Carole Middleton only grew, especially as Kate's royal role began to expand. The initial politeness began to wear thin, replaced by cold stares and curt exchanges. It was clear to those who worked closely with the family that a quiet power struggle was unfolding. By the time Kate and William's wedding approached, the situation had become even more fraught. Carole Middleton, naturally, wanted to be involved in the planning of her daughter's big day. After all, it was every mother's dream to help her child prepare for such an important moment. However, Queen Camilla, who had been part of the royal establishment for decades, saw this as an intrusion on her turf. She believed it was her place, as the Queen Consort, to oversee such matters. This clash of priorities led to increasing friction, and palace insiders began to notice the growing rift between the two women. Meetings and royal events became increasingly tense. The once friendly dinners and gatherings were now filled with unspoken tension. Carole wanted to ensure that Kate's wedding day was perfect, but the Queen Consort saw it as her role to manage the event, ensuring everything adhered to royal protocol. This disagreement marked the beginning of what would soon become a much larger feud. As the years went on, the tension between Carole and Queen Camilla continued to escalate. What began as small, passive-aggressive comments turned into outright power plays. Carole was increasingly shut out of key family events, with Camilla reportedly using her influence to limit Carole's access to Kate and the grandchildren. The Queen Consort seemed intent on controlling the narrative, deciding who was allowed to be present at important family gatherings. Carole, however, was not one to back down. She remained steadfast in her support for Kate, making sure her daughter didn't feel isolated in the face of these growing tensions. But what really set things off was Camilla's attempt to influence Kate's role within the royal family. Sources say that pressure was applied to get Kate to take on more traditional duties, acting more like the reserved and subservient royal wives of the past. Carole, always protective of her daughter, felt this was a step too far. She didn't raise Kate to be a shrinking violet, and she wasn't about to let anyone, least of all the Queen Consort, change her daughter's personality. Then came the moment that no one saw coming. Carole Middleton, fed up with years of underhanded tactics and subtle snubs, decided it was time to speak out. In a bold move, She revealed details about Queen Camilla's behavior and exposed the simmering tension that had been building between them for years. Carole's statement sent shockwaves through royal circles. For someone who had always kept a low profile, this public outburst was nothing short of revolutionary. Sources close to the family revealed that Carole's decision to go public had been a long time coming. She had endured years of passive-aggressive comments, exclusion, and snubs, but the final straw came when she felt that Camilla's actions were starting to affect Kate's happiness. Carole had always put her family first, and she wasn't about to let royal politics interfere with her daughter's well-being. As news of Carole's bombshell statement spread, the royal family scrambled to manage the fallout. Palace aides and advisors worked tirelessly to contain the situation, but it quickly became clear that this wasn't something that could be easily swept under the rug. Prince William, caught between his wife's family and his stepmother, was reportedly furious. He had always had a complicated relationship with the Queen Consort, and this latest drama only deepened the divide. Kate, for her part, was devastated. She had worked hard to maintain a cordial relationship with Camilla, despite the ongoing tension between her mother and the Queen Consort. Hearing that her mother had felt compelled to speak out was a tough pill to swallow. Kate had always known that there were tensions, but she had no idea how bad things had gotten behind the scenes. The situation was more complicated than she had ever realized. King Charles, now reigning as monarch, was said to be in denial about the whole situation. He had always known that his wife had a strong personality, but he never anticipated that it would lead to such a public scandal. His initial response was to downplay the drama, but as more details emerged, it became clear that this was a serious issue that could no longer be ignored. Queen Elizabeth, who had always valued loyalty and discretion above all else, was reportedly heartbroken by the situation. She had worked tirelessly to maintain a sense of unity within the royal family, and Carole's decision to speak out went against everything the monarchy stood for. The Queen had always preferred to keep family matters private, and this public fallout was deeply upsetting. Despite the royal family's attempts to stay silent, the media frenzy surrounding Carole's statement only intensified. Headlines were filled with speculation about what Carole would say next and whether Queen Camilla would respond. The public was divided. Some saw Carole as a protective mother standing up for her daughter, while others viewed her as someone stirring up unnecessary drama. Either way, the royal family was thrust back into the media spotlight for all the wrong reasons. In an effort to maintain control, Camilla reportedly demanded that Carole be cut off from royal events. But William and Kate were not about to let that happen. They stood by Carole, insisting that she remain a part of their lives and their children's lives. This bold move demonstrated where their loyalties lay, but it also highlighted the growing rift between the two factions within the royal family. The tension between the Middletons and the Windsors was not only affecting the immediate family members, it had wider implications for the monarchy. With the Queen Consort's reputation taking a hit and the family in disarray, questions were raised about the future of the royal family. Could they move past this drama, or was this the beginning of a new era of royal scandals? As the palace gates remain closed and the royal family keeps tight-lipped, it's clear that the tensions between Carole Middleton and Queen Camilla have changed the game. This scandal has exposed the cracks in the monarchy, and it's unclear whether the royal family can recover from the fallout. Carole Middleton's decision to speak out has irrevocably altered the dynamics of the royal family, and it's clear that things will never be the same again. But this isn't just about Carole Middleton. This is about the future of the monarchy itself. The royal family finds itself at a crossroads, caught between the traditional values upheld by figures like Queen Camilla and the more modern approach embraced by William and Kate. As the world watches, the royal family will have to decide how to navigate these shifting dynamics. Will they embrace change, or will they cling to the old ways? One thing is certain, the royal family is once again in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. The media will continue to dig for more information, and the public will continue to debate the merits of Carole Middleton's actions. But as the royal family braces for the fallout, it's clear that this saga is far from over. Whether it fizzles out or escalates further, the royal family's future will be shaped by the decisions made in the coming months and years. For now, the Middleton-Windsor feud continues to unfold, and the public can only wait and watch as this royal drama reaches its next chapter.